All right, folks, welcome back. We're down to one match. Brought to you by Excellence Billiards. We're here at the Manuree Wakazi 2016 Clubs New Zealand Singles Championship 8-ball final. I'm Brett DeFaria, Patrick O'Donnell. Welcome again for the big one.
Yeah, thanks, Brett. Two players at the top of their game, as we said in the semi-finals. Excellent win to Steve Denton, 4-1 over Adam Lilly in a very open game, lots of clearances, and a tight win there to Steve Wild over Kerry in the semi as well, 4-2.
Yeah, congratulations to both our losing semi-finalists. A remarkable effort with a field of over 260 players. Kerry Wirtz and Adam Lilly. Mentioning Adam, just 18 years old. Great effort from the young fella, and I'm sure he'll have plenty more opportunities to get his hands on this trophy. But in the meantime, we're down to the best two. We're down to Steve Denton from Canterbury and Steve Wild out of the Wellington area. It's going to be a classic.
Yep, I've just been mingling with the players and spectators around the crowd. We've got probably a couple of hundred people here watching this final, and it's split down the middle. Players cannot decide. Steve Wild to break the first frame.
Righto, here we go, folks. Steve Wild's won the coin toss and has elected to break first. This final should be the best of 9. I'm going to get confirmation on that. Steve Wild from Porirua, first break. Can he get a wick? 13 off the 11 in the side. Last ball moving. Looks like the small ones will be the go-to set with the 6 blocking the 12, 10 and 9 up this rail or bottom left corner as we look on the screen. Trevor Higginson just walked in front of the screen. He's our referee for the final. Very, very seasoned referee and player, Trevor Higginson. He's one of the players and men who helped establish these rules years ago for the New Zealand 8-ball scene. Knows the rules inside out, and he'll be watching closely to make sure none of the players slip up. Steve Wild on the 4-ball to the corner.
Yeah, good start here from Steve. Steve Wild, that is.
Four just may have drifted slightly, unless Steve's radar was a little bit off there. Steve Denton at the table now. Steve Denton from the Kashmir Club, always a strong pool club. And hasn't he applied his trade in this tournament thus far, Patrick?
Yeah, look, he sure has. We just spoke about it. He hardly missed a shot in that last match, but he's missed one there and gone in off.
That's the commentator's curse, I think, and he's tried to rip that white ball around off the top rail and get free the 12 and 10 away, which are blocked by Steve Wild's 5 and 6 up towards the bottom left corner as you look on the screen, and straight into the middle pocket. Didn't even get the kiss.
Yeah, look, a couple of misses early on from the finalists, folks, and that's probably a testament to the situation, the atmosphere, the nerves. Both players wanting to get their name on that trophy.
Yeah, well, Steve Denton had to play the aggressive shot there. He opted to try and free those balls away from the 6, and if he'd got any contact on any of those two balls, it would have been a completely different result. But nonetheless, Steve Wild with the ball from the D made a couple of good pots, and he's on the 3 up the line here. Good opportunity to take the first frame for Steve Wild. He looks focused. Nicely played. Steve Wild been around the circuit a long time, as I mentioned earlier.
7 to the middle here, back for the 5.
Stop shot on the 7 here. Yeah, just screwed it away nicely. So, 5-ball to the corner, off the top rail. Back out. Just past where the 5 is now for the 6-ball. Bit of top spin on this one from Stevie Wild. It's there. He's a little bit short, nicely, but he's okay. Just chip this in. Make sure he doesn't kiss the black on the way back across the table.
Might be playing for the side pocket here. No, yeah. Stood up.
So he doesn't want to run into the black here, Pat. Doesn't want to run the risk of kissing the black. It's there. It's there.
It's a great
nicely
shot.
done.
And
he's
the right
okay.
option there too.
Just roll this black in the corner. Pocket weight. If it goes in, he's home. If for some reason it jaws and sits, he's pretty well home anyway. He'll just be rolling this one in gently. It's there. Great start from Steve Wild, 1-0.
That's the perfect way to alleviate these final nerves, guys. Get your first frame on the board. Referee with a bit of nerves there as well. Dropping a ball onto the floor.
Yeah, good one there for Steve Wild. As you say, the first frame does settle the nerves, but first frame's always important in any match. It makes your opponent chase the game. And we've all seen how capable Steve Denton is at running out the table. So the score can change pretty quickly. Right, second frame. Denton in to expect the rack, like Kerry was earlier in the semi-final, just making sure all the balls are touching each other. Steve Denton looks very calm. It's a national final. How composed does the man look?
Yes, Brett, both these players looking nice and calm at this stage in such a big match. But I can assure you the nerves will be there. Both looking for that maiden Clubs New Zealand national singles title. That title is being passed from Phil Wilkinson out of Tokoroa Club, who's won the last 2 years.
Yeah, we're going to have a new champion today, Paddy. I was just mentioning earlier about that first frame for Steve Wild. Not only was it important, obviously, in context of the match, but as I mentioned, Steve's been to a lot of quarterfinals, a lot of semi-finals. Hasn't been to the big one, so he'll be very nervous. Steve Denton's been in the final of a $10,000 tournament as recent as last year. So he knows how to handle himself, and as I mentioned, he looks pretty calm and composed. So definitely helped Mr. Wild out a little bit. Referee just breezing around the table there, making sure there's no issues, keeping an eye on all proceedings. Steve Denton on the 7 ball, just played that very nicely, deliberately knocking the 12 to the top rail, the bottom left rail as we watch on the screen. Just puts it out of action a little bit. Still got a bit of problem down the top right hand corner as we look. The 2 and the 6 ball a little bit congested. He's going to have to get the white ball in a nice position to pot the 2, free up that 6 ball. Steve Denton on the 5. Beautiful cue action. Well played. I think he's a little bit short of where he'd like to be. Comes around the table to have a look.
I was speaking to Steve just before this match, Brett, and I know his wife is watching at home. So hello there, and good luck to you and your family and all your friends, Steve, watching back at home. And also, of course, to anyone from Steve Wild's friends and family.
Yeah, nice back cut there from Steve on the 3. Now he's got the shot I just spoke about. 2 ball to the corner to try and free the 6.
Yeah, good angle to do that from here, Brett.
It is. He's on it well. It's a little bit tricky. I'll tell you what the issue here is. Run the 2 into the corner. White goes into the 6. That's fine. But then it comes back and it's a 6 again and leaves it parked on the cush behind the 13. The dreaded double kiss. Let's see if he can avoid that here. Screwing into it fine and knocking it off the rail. There we go. He's got enough of it, but is he on the 4? I think he's okay. The 6 is on the rail though. Tough finish from here. He may look at potentially doubling this 6 now, pushing the white to the middle of the table and then playing the 4 for the black. Otherwise it's going to be a big old 4 to the corner and then a big shot on the 6 to get back for the black ball, Pat.
Yeah, that's the thing, Brett. Remembering he's got to clean up his 2 balls and get on the black for a nice shot. Not sure if that black passes the 10 ball for that corner pocket.
I can tell you it doesn't. There's a big shot coming here on the 4. It's there. He has played that perfectly. This one's going to have to be even better again. No issue in potting the 6, but he's going to have to hit it with a bit of vigour. Get the cue ball moving. Back up table for the black ball to the side pocket. Got to cue this one nicely. How are we looking, Steve Denton, to level this final? It's there. It's a great shot.
Wow. That is an excellent shot, folks.
Cue that one any better.
Got that black straight to the middle pocket here for 1-all.
Yeah. Nice shot, Steve Denton. It's all tied up here in the final. Great viewing.
Yeah, just carrying on his strong work from the semi-final there, Brett. Another very good clearance here.
Yeah, nice finish from Steve Denton.
Steve Denton, an English player, now applying his trade here in New Zealand. Been here a couple of years and part of a very strong expat contingent on the New Zealand pool circuit at the moment. Of course, Baden Jackson and Simon Singleton taking out the Peers on Tuesday night. Yeah,
those bloody Poms they're starting to take over. No, full credit to them. Dean Garnett, Baden Jackson, Simon Singleton, Steve Denton, Neil Wally down south as well. All great cuers.
Adam Lilly from the semi-finals.
Yeah, all the Poms. Little word from Simon Singleton there in my ear. Great break from Steve Wild. Didn't get all of it, but I tell you what, he's got a couple of balls and he's got an opportunity now to claim his set. If you're just joining us, Excellence Billiards brings you the 2016 Clubs New Zealand 8-Ball Singles Championship Final. We're live at the Manurewa and there is a big crowd in here. They've come to watch the boxing, but they've been distracted because there's a pool championship final going on here. We've got a crowd of over 100 people watching this one as Steve Wild steps up to nominate Littles and whacks a 7 in the corner. A lovely shot there, a little bit straight on the 5, but let's see what he can do. What do you like here, Pat? Bit of a little dinky screw back on the 5 here?
Yeah, I think so, Brett. The 3 ball on the rail there, the difficult one here for Steve.
He's just cued that effortlessly, screwed back perfectly for the 6. Great shot. 3 ball is the problem, as Pat pointed out. Well, okay, folks, what he was trying to do there was roll that 6 to the corner and use the 15 to stop the white so that he was on the 2.
Yeah, just caught that 15 a little bit too thin.
That's right. So now, does he button off or does he try the big 3 down the rail, bridging over the 4? Tell you what, you wouldn't want to miss that and let Steve Denton back in, but he's eyeing it up. I tell you what, if this goes down the line, this will be some shot in the final. This will be some shot any time.
Oh, I wouldn't back against them, Brett. Been queuing well all day.
He's looking at it. But the advantage is, if he manages to pot this, he's going to be on the 1 to the side. Or is he looking at just bringing it off the rail and leaving the white down the bottom of the table here, Pat? He's gone for the shot. Oh! Well, he went for the huge 3 down the line. Unfortunately, didn't give it a chance to run down the line. He's just hit that jaw of the middle pocket. That would have been some shot. Well, he didn't get to the final by mucking around, so... No,
that's right, Brett. They're not here to die wondering. They're going to play their shots. They're going to go for these clearances, and we'll see who can do it the best.
I'll tell you what it has done, Pat, is the 3 ball was Steve's trouble balls. Although he's missed it by some way, he's put it out in a real favourable position, so you can see there Steve realising that.
Oh, that's a great safety play from Steve there, blocking Steve Denton, I should say, blocking Steve Wild's 2.
Still the 4 ball, Pat.
It's still the 4. These blues and purples on these screens are not my friend.
Pat, I know you think that's a great shot, and I tend to agree, but I think Steve Denton would have rather that dropped in, because Steve Wild's got a shot here. Cut this 4, bottom left corner as we watch on screen, all the way across the side of the table. If it goes in, he's bound to be on one of his other 2. If it doesn't go in, it's going to really cover up that pocket that Steve Denton wants to use.
Yeah, well, look, I wonder if it had a drop, what Steve Denton's next ball would have been. That 15 doesn't pass the 11.
Big shot coming up here for Steve Wild. Can he knock this one in? Fine cut. Oh, he's It's not bad. It's not bad. Well, it's a good leave. I tell you what, it's going to force Steve Denton into an aggressive shot here on the 10 because he's going to have to go on the aggressive now. Steve got 3 balls in really favourable positions. The 4 quite close to the bottom left-hand corner. You can tuck a ball inside there, but got to get on one to do that.
Yeah, all of Steve Wild's balls out in the open here, as is the black. No obvious safety play here. Steve Denton will be looking to use that 10 to get onto these cluster of balls down behind the black.
Yeah, 10 first, using the ball over the hole. He's going to have to try and get the white away from that corner pocket. Oh, I think he's got a little bit fortunate there.
That'll do, that'll do.
If he didn't get that last little wick, he was going to be in all sorts of trouble, but he's just pushed that 13 over and he's got the 13 to the corner.
Can't quite tell from this angle if that 12 and 15 are a natural plant to that corner pocket. Brett standing on his chair high above the crowd to try and find out for us. Looks like it might be a plant.
So, fortune favours the brave. A big aggressive shot there from Steve on the 10. He got a nice little wick, left him on the 13. He's played it with a little bit of side down table. Still got the 9 and 14 to deal with. Wonder if he deals with both of those while he's down here. I'd say that'd be the option. It's the 14 past the 3, Patrick.
If it does, it's pretty tight.
We'll find out after Steve plays this 9. I think he's pushing this through.
Yeah.
He's trying to get on the 14 in the same pocket, and he's come up a little bit short. Clearly the 14 did not pass the 3 to the top right corner as we look, or top of the table as we look. So he tried to run the white ball back across and put the 14 in the same pocket that he's just played the 9. But a little bit nervy perhaps, a little bit of tension in the arm, and just didn't quite get the cue ball across table.
Might be looking at that plant now that we talked about, although no.
No, he's got to take this 14 on now while he's down here. Screw it into the rail, or make sure he avoids contact on this 3 ball. Which he's done, and it's there.
It's a very good shot.
It's a
very good shot.
It's a good recovery. It's a very good recovery shot. Now, is this a plant? We're referring to the 12 and the 15. Steve's had a look at it. If it's not, he's going to have to play the 11 in behind the 4. He's having another look at the plant. That's the 12 onto the 15 into the corner. He's not sure. Maybe it is a given and he's just making sure that he controls the white round for his next shot. Having a good old look. Big shot in the context of this final at 1-all. Seeing where he needs to hit that front ball to pot the 15. I think this is going to go. I think this is pretty straightforward. Oh no. Oh, he's put the 11 there, yes. I thought for a second there that 11 might have bowled off the top cushion, sat in front of the 4, but he's controlled it nicely. This will drop in behind the 4.
Yeah, nice weight.
Yeah, Steve Denton should be in here for a 2-1 lead. Yeah, there it is.
Not the perfect angle here for Steve Denton, but he's a good enough player to sort himself out from here.
No, that's right, Pat. He can't just roll this in and play the black to the adjacent middle because the 1's in the way, so a bit more confident stroke required. It's there, and he's come around for the black to the corner. Very nicely done.
For 2-1, Steve Denton. Steve Denton to break the fourth frame. Again, just having a look at that rack. Cannot afford a loose rack in the final.
All right, fourth frame. Best of 9 frames, first to 5. Nice clean break from Steve. He's got a ball. And if he's got a start, the little ones look great. The 4 ball blocking one of the corner pockets.
We've certainly got a start on a couple of the stripes here, Brett. I don't know about the little ones though.
Players watching, trying to work out how Steve's going to start this run out. Obviously, littles or solids would be the go-to set, but he's got a pot one to claim them. He's opting for bigs. Wow, interesting move.
Yeah, much easier starting ball. Just got that problem with the 9 ball.
Well, he's decided, Patrick, with a 2-1 lead, I think, in the layout of the table, it wasn't worth risking taking littles. Just take the bigs, take the easy pot, and move that 9 pretty well immediately. Maybe back double it to this corner while the 2's tied up. The 11's sitting pretty over the middle pocket as well. Here we go. Didn't hit that well at all, but it's sort of wobbled over there. And as Mr. Singleton's pointed out behind me, that will do.
Yeah, it will. There's no easy ball to get him behind the 9 there. So he's got that ball over the pocket. He can use it as a worker, and he's got his other balls now to try and get into a position if he can get back to the table.
Yeah, that's right. And Steve will be thinking about that slight mistake he made in the last frame. We're trying not to, I should say.
Well, let's hope he isn't. He needs to put that out of his mind and just focus on the job at hand.
So taking the 1, probably go down and clear that 3 next. Yep, there we go. Screwing back off the 3. What's next, though, for Mr. Steve Wild? Don't think he can get it, as Patrick pointed out, we don't think he can get any of the balls up inside that 9. 9 just got a good chunk of that corner pocket. Top left as we watch. Steve may need the jigger for this shot as well. It's going to make it a little bit trickier. Very important frame here for Steve Wild to draw back level. Doesn't want to go behind 3-1. Well, as I mentioned, just having to play that shot with the rest just made it a little bit harder. Tried to screw back down table. He's jawed the 3 out. What has he given Steve Denton?
Yeah, look, this frame not as open as the last few have been. Quite a difficult clearance here for Steve, so he's going to have to tread carefully.
Yeah, well, the shot I like here, Pat, is just to play the 13 off the rail and use the white to just knock the 2 to the side cush. Really almost takes the 2 out of action with the 9 over the corner, but I don't think that'll be in Steve's head at the moment. He doesn't quite think about those sort of tactical shots. He's more an aggressor. Maybe he's seen it now. He's looking at it. Sure, he's looking at it. A double on the 13 perhaps. Using the white to push the 2 to the rail. Nope, doesn't like it. 15 ball. Down to the corner. For the 12, it's missed and not left very nice at all.
Yeah, Brett, and look, just going back to that last comment you made, pushing that 2 onto the rail, I wonder how hard it is for these players or any players to switch from a mode where they've been clearing tables for the last couple of matches into playing that safety game. We saw Steve do it against Dennis in the quarters, but then that semi-final against Adam was so open, he'd just like to carry that on, wouldn't he?
That's right, Pat. And as I mentioned, it wasn't so much that Steve thought about those shots. He was sort of forced into them the way Dennis tried to control the frames playing tactically. So, as I mentioned in the semi-final, Steve Wild was sort of the last player left in amongst the 4 that sort of had that advantage in the tactical area of the game. Got to slow up. And don't get me wrong, Steve Wild can pot the balls out as well as the other guys too. So if it does get a little bit tactical, I just like to give Steve Wild the edge. But we'll see if it even goes that way. This frame's certainly in the balance at the moment. Steve's got to try and develop that too, obviously.
And that's also taking nothing away from Steve Denton's tactical game. We've seen him play a lot of nice safety shots in the last 2 matches already.
Great shot from Steve Wild. Didn't quite get the kiss. He's trying to get a little wick on that too. Right.
Not getting any easier for Steve Wild here.
This is where Steve's got to use all his years of experience and work out how he can contain Steve Denton's next visit to the table, how he can get one of his balls into a more potable position if he does indeed come back for a next visit. Nothing obvious to pot. He's looking at the back double on the 7 to the middle. I think that's tight. 13, 5 onto the 13, I think it is here, Pat. Just to try and contain things. Or unless he's bringing the 5 right out of there.
Yeah, look, not perfect there. 13 does pass the 2 into the corner pocket, past the black. And once that's out, Steve Denton will fancy his chances here of another clean-up.
Well, I'm not too sure what Steve was trying to play there. Maybe he was trying to get the 5 onto the black and he's overhit it. He did want to leave Steve over this side of the table, but maybe not quite there so that he could play the 13 so freely.
Yeah, look, right on that rail, far end of the table, not perfect posse. If he can get on it, get another turn, he can put it behind that 9, but whether he gets that chance or not, well, I wouldn't think so.
Well, that's what you call a good miss. He'll be happy with that. It's made life difficult for Steve Wild.
Just a bit of a kiss on that 2, stopping that 13 going through nicely.
Steve's got to come up with something special here now.
Looking intently at that 7.
The shot I like here, Pat, it's a little bit negative, but if you can just trickle that 7 a little bit closer to the 11, that may take Steve's chances of clearing this rack completely out because he won't be able to get to the 11. But if he moves the 7 like he's doing, he's just inviting Steve for an easy finish.
So looking at the 7 to the corner pocket, bottom right of your screen.
This is a big shot to take on. But it is a championship final. Can he avoid the contact on the 11?
And then what's his next shot?
Well, it'll be the 5. You try and screw the white off the rail and cut the 5 in behind the 9. It's a good effort from Steve. Well, has that 7 gone over and blocked the 15 a little bit? No. Steve Denton doesn't like it, but he's got a combo. The white's gone across and potted the 13.
I can assure you Steve Denton did like that shot. Ball in hand, 7 not completely blocking the 15.
Well, if it's not, it just looked like the 7. He was having a good look at it. If the 15 passes, he's okay.
Big chance now for Steve Denton to take a 3-1 lead in this final. Under these Clubs New Zealand rules, ball in hand for a major foul, potting your opponent's ball. He can also take a free ball, so he can call the 7, and if he hits it, he can still carry on. Didn't need it anyway.
Well, you bank Steve to Denton to put these remaining 3 balls in the black away. Calm, very calm. Great temperament at the table.
Yeah, both these players, Brett. Good to watch. Comes back out for the black in the same pocket. Plays it perfectly. This will be 3-1, folks. Brett, advice for Steve Wild now. What do you think?
Well, look, he's not playing too badly. I think maybe it was a too big a shot to move that 7. It would have. But hey, look, he's at the table. He knows what he's doing. I just think he certainly opened the door there for Steve Denton for an easier finish. Look, he's been breaking well. He hasn't been hitting the pack too hard. He's been getting a nice spread and getting a ball each time. So hopefully he can carry that on and look at a run out or establishing control. Very, very important now for Steve Wild to take this frame.
Do you change your game up at 3-1 down, or do you try and put the score out of your head and just play next ball at a time?
Not in a final, Pat. I've been in a few myself, and when you get to a final, you've obviously been playing very well for starters to get there. Good break from Steve. A little bit unlucky he hasn't got a starting ball here. When you're in the final, you're obviously confident. You're playing well to get there, and everything looks a bit easier. You know, you're hitting the ball well. So he won't be too worried at 3-1. He won't be thinking I need to slow down. Just look, carry on playing the way that's got you to the final. And if the ball's run his way and he plays well, he'll get himself back in this match. Tough shot to start here from Steve. He's he's just gonna knock the 12 away. So here we go. Tactical shot from Steve.
So still an open table here, folks.
It is. He doesn't like the shot because he's messed up the 12 and 14 ball, but there's no start here for Steve either.
And the trick here is to get yourself on a good starting ball, establish the set, and be able to get yourself into a position of dominance. However, you need to sink this first ball and not open the door for your opponent to do the same to you. Steve Denton taking a really good look at the table here. He's called the overs. He's going to play the stripes, the big balls.
Tough shot for Steve to take on. Sort of screwed that back with an element of safety. But I think with the 14 and the 12 messed up on the side rail that Steve unintentionally played before, Steve might change tact here if he can get to the 5 or the 1 and play the littles.
Yeah, I like the little ones here too. He's got that 1 as the starter.
Yeah, one or the 5.
Oh yeah, the 5's there as well.
It's hard to see if he can run off the 5, but if he can run the 5 in the middle and avoid the 6, he might just run into that 11-2, and if he catches it thin enough, it'll free the 2, and he'll be on another ball, either the 3 or the 2 ball. Let's see if he plays it that way. He tried to, but he missed the 5, and in doing so, missed the kiss on the 11 and the 2. And hasn't left Steve Denton an easy starter either, so what can Steve Denton come up with? He's having a look at the other side of the table. Doesn't like it either. Interesting frame panning out here, Pat. Really messy table. No clear favourite in the matches yet for this frame. Steve opting for littles. 3 to the side pocket.
Just a quick look at some of the crowd there. Got a great crowd in at Manurewa Club, as Steve Denton has also missed.
Well, again, a miss, but look where the 3's gone. Safe. The 14 and 12, safe. The 10 and the 7 ball, bottom of your screen, safe. It's going to be a bit of cat and mouse here.
Yeah, they're going to have to put their thinking caps on for this frame.
It'll be a case of who can come up with the cleverest shots, you feel, or some very aggressive pots if they want to try and use the white to split out those balls which are non-potable at the moment.
Steve Denton, of course, with the 2-frame advantage, but both players will know how important this frame is.
Well, Steve Wild's opting for bigs here, but I don't think this 11 passes to the middle pocket. If it does, it's very, very close past the 2. Very close. Oh. Yeah, bad vantage point. It passed easily. Nice shot from Steve, and he'll use the 9 to free up the 10 here.
Again, these camera angles playing a few tricks on us here.
Good shot, Steve Wild. He's freed the 10 up, left the 7 on the rail, and he's got the 13 ball to the side pocket. Key shot coming up here. I think he'll just opt to roll this in. Roll the 13 in the side.
And then we'll have a look at what to do with those balls behind the 2 and the 3.
That's right, Pat.
I'm going to guess the 14 and 12. Oh, he's gone too far there and missed the pot.
Well, he ran the white too far as well, so I can only imagine he was trying to get on the 10.
Steve Denton with a bit of work to do here.
Yeah, I really like Steve Wild just rolling that 13 in the side and maybe developing the 14 and the 12 a little bit and leaving Steve Denton a hard shot.
Yeah, no, I think you're right with that one. Maybe just a little bit of rush of blood there.
He's no doubt feeling the scoreboard pressure a little bit, but hasn't left Steve a lot here. I think Steve might look at chipping the 7 up the rail. This is the shot here.
Try and block the 10 here, folks.
And he's done it. He's done it well. I don't think Steve Wild will be mucking around too much. 10 ball straight into the cushion and try and blow the 7 away from the hole. Or get it out of there. Either that or he's just going to give the combo, is he? Oh no. A little bit careless, but the idea was there. Off the cushion, promote the 10 over to the corner. But now that he's got 3 balls over there on the rail and all sorts of trouble, you'll find Steve Denton can now bring out the 3 and the 2. Possibly in one shot here, Pat.
And do it now, would you think?
Absolutely.
The risk, if he doesn't take it here, is that he'd leave the free ball.
What he doesn't want to really do is disturb the 14, 12, 10. Because
No, he won't want to touch those.
Look, I think the shot here is just maybe don't get too aggressive with it. Just bring the 4 out. Just bring the 4 out for now. Because if you try and bring the 3 out, you're going to move one of those 14 or 12 and you run the risk of putting them on. But it looks like he's playing the 3. Tell you what, Pat, how about playing the 3 and using the white to knock the 14 ball back towards the 7 that's covering the hole? Well, what has he tried there?
Oh, almost sunk that.
Well,
almost used the 2 to sink the 7. And left a pretty tough start here for Steve Wild.
Looks like a great shot. Steve's going to have to go under these. Good shot from Steve Denton, but again, that double kiss that he got, a little bit fortuitous. Those balls could have separated off the rail and given Steve Wild a start.
They haven't done that though, and Steve now, no obvious safety plays in here, so he's going to have to do something good here.
Well, he's going to have to invent something.
Otherwise, Steve Denton is going to be on for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ball clearance.
Yeah, clever shot from Steve Wild there. What he's done is he's opened up the 3 balls and hasn't. Although he's given Steve Denton a start, he's looked at the layout of the table and said, you know what? If I smash these open, there's no point in doing that. I've just got to take my chances here, open these 3 balls up, and rely on Steve not clearing up here. And that way, if he doesn't, I can get in and finish him off myself.
Yeah, the problems for Steve Wild is that Steve Denton has been clearing tables, and he'll fancy his chances here again, I think.
He will, but Steve Wild's made it a little bit awkward. Chinese snookered. He's going to have to play a good shot to get going here. He's got the 7 over the hole, 4 onto the 7 to start. Great shot.
Oh, he's played that really well, Brett.
If the 5 passes the 6 to the middle, you'd put him in the box seat here again. That was the only thing I was a little unsure of, but if the 5 goes now.
Yeah, this 5th frame now on the end of Steve Denton's cue. Can he finish it off? He's been doing really well to do that, all day today. So one more here, 5th frame of the final.
So 2 ball to the corner for the 3 ball next from Steve Denton. Well, is this the turning of the tide? Has the momentum switched? That was a great opportunity for Steve Denton to get to a 4-1 advantage in the first of 5.
Goodness
Steve
gracious
Wild.
me, Brett, this has to be the turning point right here. Great opportunity for Steve Wild, and it'll hurt Steve Denton a little bit if Steve Wild can run this out.
Well, he's got to. Look, I think Steve Wild has to run this out. If he doesn't, if he goes behind 4-1, I can't see anyone coming back in a final from 4-1 down, especially against a player like Steve Denton. So nothing easy here, though, Pat. A couple of good shots required here from Steve. If that 12 passes, he's having a look. If the 12 passes, it's got to be the 12 first.
Yeah, I like the 12-2, slight screw back here. I think that's the 10 ball next. Oh, it looks like he's queuing for the 10, is he?
He's played the 14 first. He's tried to come all the way down 14. For the 13. He's down, he's okay, but he just wishes he'd come down a little bit further for this 13. So, crucial shot now. If the cue ball had just run another little bit, he would have been a lot easier on the 13 ball, and he would have been able to play the 12 in and get round for the black.
Yeah, look, and the way he's playing, he's the pot isn't the problem here. It's getting the good position back on the 12 on the rail.
.13 ball to the corner. Big shot in this final. It's there.
It's not there.
Well, he'd certainly got back for the 12, but
doesn't make Steve Denton pay for that mistake a little earlier, and could be crucial, folks. Could be crucial here.
All right, so just getting New Zealand Pairs champion Simon Singleton have a better look at the table for me. The 3 is clearly not on, past the 2, but the 2 looks to be on. Steve Denton opting for the 1 first. He's 6 next.
Yeah, the 2 and the 3 just a little bit awkward down there. The 3 doesn't pass. Not quite sure if he can get to the 2, so hard to tell from this angle.
All right, confirmation.
Okay. We're told the 2 is on.
Right, Steve Denton on the 6. That's there. All right, big shot coming up here. 4 screwing down the rail. Oh, man. People are texting something.
Oh, it sucks here. Okay, Steve playing the 2 here.
Wow.
He's missed it. Open the door again for Steve Wild.
This is your chance, Mr. Wild, to get back into the match. Can't afford to miss from here. 13 to the corner.
And Brett, I don't want to say last chance saloon, but is he going to get too many more opportunities like this?
He's there. He's played it well. One good stroke of the cue here. 12 ball to the corner, come off that rail.
Beautiful smile from referee Higginson there as he walks past the camera.
Crucial shot coming up here for Steve Wild. Gotta go. It's there. Great shot, Steve Wild. Black ball to the middle pocket for 3-2 and game on.
Nothing silly here, guys. Just roll this black into the side pocket like he's been doing all day.
It's there. It's
there.
It is. Righto, Steve Denton to break. 6th frame, 3-2 to Steve Denton from Cashmere. Break is dry.
As we said before with Steve Wild, Steve Denton needs to put that last frame out of his head. A couple of good chances to clear that and go up 4-1. Wasn't to be. Still up 3-2, so he just needs to focus on the next ball. Next frame.
That's right, Pat. Steve Wild had a couple of chances in an earlier frame which he missed, and Steve Denton took advantage. That frame, it was Steve Denton who had the good chances and didn't put them away, and Steve Wild managed to snatch that one from the jaws of defeat. Tough start from Steve. Still open table. Steve Denton now at the table with his choice. Pretty messy table again. Look at the balls, Pat. They're all on the rail. Lots of clusters. Little ones look like the set, but even then, the 6 and the 4, the 3 doesn't look like... The 3's okay, sorry, but the 6 and the 4 are obviously not ideal. The 2, just past the middle pocket on the bottom rail, is not ideal either. But heck, the bigs look worse. 14 and 15 on the bottom rail as we watch. 13 ball out of action, blocked by the 3, and the 12's no prettier in behind the 6 and 4. Definitely going to be littles.
Yeah, the atmosphere here at the club is the Manurewa club has just picked up a bit with Steve Wild winning that. Bit of a buzz amongst the crowd.
Steve Denton opting for the 1 to the side. He's missed. It's a bad miss, folks, because Steve Wild, he's tried to get on the 2. And Steve will certainly take littles. He might even start with that 2 down the line. No, take the 5. He's looking at the 5 or the 2. Doesn't want to miss this one down the line. Littles definitely the set to claim. I like the 5 here, Pat. Roll the 5 in the middle, claim the set. Then play the 7 to the middle if you have to roll the 2 down the line for the 1.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm the same.
Here we go. So 5 to the side to claim the set for Steve Wild. Another big frame.
You would have just seen Steve Wild turn to the referee and call a set there. Can't forget to do that. Bank shot here.
Well, Steve opting for the back double on the 2. Maybe that set, he couldn't clip, he didn't want to move that 7, I think. He likes the 7 where it is. Wanted to move that 2 out. Obviously, if he'd got the 2, he was on the 1. But he's on littles. Didn't do a lot of damage, but Steve Denton, well, his overs on the table are a right mess. What can he do here, Pat?
Now, he's got the 11 ball to start with. I'm not sure that he can bring the 9 out off this shot, but as long as he can get position on one of his balls, he's got the skills to be able to navigate this table all right.
Yeah, just played the white up to the middle of the table there. Looking at a back double now on the 15 to the side. Or the 14 perhaps, to promote the 15 off the rail.
Yeah, I was looking at that 14 back to the opposite side pocket, the top side pocket from how we're viewing this. Although might like that 13 down behind the 3 as well. He's taking his time, surveying his options.
Still feel that Steve Wild needs to win this frame to give himself a good chance. Doesn't want to go behind 4-2. Then he's got to win 3 on the spin to claim the national title. So this is a big frame.
Oh wow!
So nice back double from Steve Denton, but
yeah, just ran into that 2.
Well, he did. He's focusing so much on the pot there. You really don't know precisely where the white's going to go. It's not like a normal Q stroke. A little bit harder to control the position of the white. Tougher shot, of course. What can he come up with here? He could plug that 10 down the corner.
Yeah, or cut it to the middle.
Yeah, but how does that help him? Whereas 12, 13 and is it the 14 ball still on the side rail here? Bottom of the screen just by the 7.
As well as the 9 in the top right.
That's right. So it looks like the 10. He's cut it to the side nicely. He's trying to kiss that ball. I think he tried to wick that 14 off the rail. It was a natural angle to float the 10 in the middle and come back. Use the cue ball to flick that 14. Nonetheless.
Yeah, he's going to play that 13 now. He looked at it hard last time he was at the table, and he definitely likes it now.
Yeah, nice shot. Right. Steve Wild now. He'll just bang that again like he did last frame. Cue ball into the cush. Get the 3 out of there.
Just changes nicely to his left hand there.
Yep.
Ronnie O'Sullivan style.
Steve Wild, you're in the final of New Zealand Championship. Don't worry about getting the jig, mate. Just use your left hand. Played it nicely. Nice little confident shot there from Stevie Wild. Just says to Steve Denton, look, I'm just knocking my 3 out there. Do your darndest, because I'm going to go for a clean-up next visit at the table, he says. That's it. That's what that shot sort of says. And right, Steve Denton, he's got that 14 ball giving him all sorts of grief. He's got the 9 ball top of the table just past the middle pocket as we look.
Just looking to see if he can get that 14 inside the 7 there, is it?
Well, if he does...
Either that or push the 7 onto the rail, which is what he's done.
He's tried to, but I don't think he's executed it well enough. What has he left Steve, though?
Might like that 1 to the corner pocket with the 7 back inside the 14, Brett.
Yeah, the thing is, if he drops the 1 to the corner, he's got to play it quite delicately to hold for that 7.
Also doesn't want to give Steve Denton the opportunity of the 9 back down the rail and behind the black.
Well, that's right, but this 7 goes down the line. Nice shot from Stevie Wild. He's on the 1. Now then.
Brett, the 12 ball, the problem here for Steve Wild. In the way of the 6 and the 4 I'm going to go with.
Well, it is, but Steve Wild's got the option of playing this one to the corner and trying to take control of that pocket, or going the aggressive route and trying to finish. So let's see how he goes off this one. He's gone for the big screw shot, trying to get a kiss. Kiss on the 3. Hey, that's okay. Great shot, Steve Wild. He's in good shape here. Good, nice aggressive shot.
Yeah, well, got a very nice kiss there.
Well,
a bit fortunate, I'd say.
A little bit fortunate, but the shot he played on the 1 there to use the white ball to go around 2 rails, he got the trajectory spot on to try and get some sort of movement on those balls. Still not easy from here though, Pat.
Try and use this 3 to get the 12 out of the way of the other of his other balls.
The thing he's got to be a little bit careful of, he does not want to move that 2 any closer towards the rail where the 13 and 14 are. That's why he's looking at the 2 now.
Gonna bank this in the side pocket here.
He hasn't hit
nice
it.
and delicately.
Is it there? It's not there.
Bit too delicate.
Still a good shot from Steve Wild because Denton's 12. Still in trouble, parked behind the 6 and 4. Steve Denton's 9. Not looking pretty over on that rail. What's he going to come up with? 14. He may play an aggressive 14 here, try and free the 9. He may float the 9 down the corner. Bit of a shot to nothing.
Yeah, look, I said the 12 was the problem ball for Steve Wild in the way of his 6 and 4 there, but it's also, of course, a real problem for Steve Denton here.
The shot I like here, Pat, I'm sure Steve hasn't crossed Steve Denton's mind because he didn't think like that, but just playing straight into the 9, bringing the 9 off the rail, leaving the white where the 9 is, forcing Steve Wild to play the 2. Well, he's opted for the semi-shot to nothing. But I think that 2 might cut back.
And if it does, a great opportunity to split out the rest of his balls. Got to be careful. 13 and the 14 covering the corner pocket and the side pocket. Bottom left and bottom middle of our screen.
2 will cut, but where's the white going? Steve.
Yeah, just nice and safe there from Steve. He's only really playing with 1, possibly 2 pockets. Those 3 balls top left.
Wow, has he left Steve Denton a chance to chip this 12 across to the 13?
That's what he's looking at, Brett. And if it's there...
Or even worse, has he left Steve Denton a chance to play the 12 off the 3 to the corner?
Oh, absolutely. That's what he's playing.
No.
No, he's not. Ooh. Good leave, though.
Oh, great leave.
Left Steve Wild hard up against the 6 now. As well as opening up that pocket for the 12. 1 miss here.
Yeah, so it's tough, but I think, I don't know what Steve's looking at, but I like the just running the white off the 6 in behind the black, forcing Steve Denton to play the 12.
You've got to be careful with that option not to leave a free ball.
Doesn't have a lot of option though, Pat.
Just looking to see if he can screw off the 6 and stuff up the 12 here. Put it behind the 3 or something.
No, that's
doesn't like it. Doesn't like it.
So much danger, that shot.
Yeah.
He's gone for the hope. He's gone for the hope.
And wow, I did not see that coming. We haven't seen one of those shots in the last three matches, and could spell big trouble for Steve Wild here. Opened up everything for Steve Denton, and the way he's potting, you wouldn't back against him clearing this frame from here.
Little bit of a rush of blood there from Steve. He just couldn't work out a shot to play that he wasn't going to leave Steve Denton a chance, and thought, you know what, I've got to move these 2 and hope for the best. And unfortunately for him, it's just made life easy for Steve Denton here.
Yeah, we call those Dunlop shots back at home.
Only when they go in. Looks pretty straightforward here. 9 ball, 14, 12 black. Steve Denton just making sure where he wants the cue ball for each shot.
Yeah, look, no easy shots in a Clubs New Zealand national final, but as far as the matches have gone, this is one of the easier run-outs from Steve that he's had. He's cleared much harder tables than this in the last few matches, Brett.
But none as important as this one. This will put him on the hill in a race of 5 for the New Zealand singles title. Cute. Oh, I don't
He's coming in
know
behind it, is he?
this.
He's coming in behind it. Oh, he won't be happy there.
That is a real let-off potentially for Steve Wild. Had a big area to play into there, Pat. Just a little bit twitchy in the cue action. Really twitchy, actually, for Steve Denton. He looks so calm.
Yeah, look, I was just saying it. The nerves must be there for these players, and like you say, just a little bit twitchy on that shot.
I tell you what, I know it was a couple of shots ago, but Steve Wild's hack at that last couple of balls, I know he was really leaving it up to chance, but if the 6 and the 2 hadn't sort of left where they were, if they just opened up a little bit, his life would have been a little bit easier if he's going to get a chance. But because they're sort of quite close to each other there, that's going to make life on those 2 balls a little bit tricky. So what's Steve Denton got here?
I think he's looking to bank this. No, he looked to cut it in. Wow.
But what's he left? What's he left? I don't think he's left anything.
I don't know if Steve Wild can slide the 6 off the 4 and put the 4 in the middle pocket. Sorry, the 2, the 6 onto the 2. Purple and blue again.
No, it's got to be the 4 onto the 3.
Looking to roll the 4 onto the 3. Yeah.
Big shot.
Oh, he's missed it.
Well, chance there for Steve Wild, but just didn't even get the 4 past the 12 and onto the 3. Tough shot, but so each player letting each one off the hook here. Steve Denton opting for the 14 to the side. $12 to the corner.
Runs into the black. He hasn't done it well.
We just talked about this. Simon Singleton, over my shoulder, the current New Zealand Peers champion, said, would you bring the black out? I said, why do you need to? Just play the 12 in the corner, play the 14 in the side, roll the black up the rail behind the 3 and the 4, job done.
I think he might have been trying to hit that black over the side pocket there.
Well, it's a double or nothing here. I can't see him trying to run this up the rail. It's fought with too much risk. It's got to be a big double to the corner. He's not going to try and cut this, is he? We've got 6 experts behind me. But as I suggested, he's taking on the double to the corner. And he's missed. Steve Wild, you have one more chance to get back into this match and tie it up at 3-all.
Yeah, look, he avoided the 2 and the 6 there as well, which has made it a tough start for Steve. I think the 6 passes the black. Steve just surveying his options now. Steve Wild.
This is tough.
6 past the black here, guys.
It's tough. I don't think he can get to that angle. I think he's got to try the 2 up the rail.
Might have to be the 2 down the rail, yeah.
And even if this goes, he's still going to have a real tough next shot because the white's going straight into the 6 ball. Steve Denton has done well to avoid the 2 and the 6 on that double, because if he just got the slightest kiss on those 2 balls, would have changed the whole layout here for Steve Wild.
Yeah, look,
huge
the 4 also doesn't pass the 3 there, so not an easy task here for Steve Wild.
Huge shot. Can you do it, Stevie Wild? Has he left the black on to cut? I think it's on.
Steve Denton just looking to cut this ball into the corner pocket. He'll have to avoid that 2 down the far corner.
Shouldn't be a problem here. Chip it in. Oh, he's missed that. Off the 6 and in the middle. Ooh. Nearly off the 6 and in the side for a loss of frame there, folks.
Yeah, look, it really excited my commentary partner here. That was pretty exciting stuff.
Well, I saw it coming, but it didn't quite take the right flick on the 6. He's hit the jaw, and Stevie can't buy a trick here. Steve Denton's led him off the hook a couple of times, and he's still got a tough clearance. He's got to put this one away, but with the black where it is, he's got an element of safety as well. So,
yeah, look, he does. Pop the 6, use the 2 to get back down for his last 2 balls.
he's there. He's okay. He's okay. He's okay. Steve Wild looking to tie this thing up at 3 apiece.
4 here.
Cush first. Doesn't want to hit the middle, doesn't want to hit the middle. Very close to the middle pocket, and he's got no shot here,
so
folks.
He has not got past the 4. He's going to have to put the 4 onto the 3. Like Brett said, where the black is, he can play a safety shot here as well. So he'll try to pot this or get it close to the pocket and bring the white back over the other side.
Yeah, so he's got to, that's right, Pat. He's got to make sure he gets the cue ball back down towards where it is, back down in the middle of the table. Don't go in the middle. Oh.
And that, folks, could be curtains here. Steve Denton with a free ball from the D. He's going to take one of Steve Wild's balls. I would venture to suggest it is the 4, the way he is lining it up. And he will run this down for the black along the rail.
Four ball. He's okay. He's on the black.
Yeah, look, not perfect there, but he's certainly got a good enough shot here.
He's
to
okay.
Just roll this up.
He can't miss another one, surely. He can. Oh, I thought he'd missed it. I thought he'd overcut it.
Yeah, hoping for that commentator's curse there again, were you, Brett?
Steve Denton, he's on the hill. It's 4-2.
Simple equation now for Steve Wild. Needs to be 3-0.
I thought he'd overcut that, folk, but Steve Denton, he's on the hill now, 4-2. Steve Wild, he's had chances. Drama central. You can see the pressure on these players. 1 frame to go for Steve Denton. Can Steve Wild win 2 on the bounce and force us into a deciding frame? Great to watch here.
Yeah, look, and if you've just joined us, where have you been? You've missed some great pool. Final here of the Clubs New Zealand National Singles Manurewa Club here in Auckland. Beautiful club. This coverage being brought to you by Excellence Billiards. Steve Denton, 4-2 up on Steve Wild in the final.
Steve Wild to break 7th frame. Very important break here for Steve Wild. He's got the 2 in the corner. White ball in the middle of the table. How's the layout? Not ideal, but he's at the table. That's all that matters for now. 6 and the 9 tied up. Top left of your screen. 12 ball down the bottom rail. 13 on the rail as well. What does he like? He likes the littles. 1 ball to develop 7, which he's done, but he's missed the kiss on the 7. He hit that in really nice, really confidently. Steve knows, as Pat pointed out, this is now last chance saloon. Big aggressive shot coming in from Steve if it's the shot I think he's taking on.
3 ball to the corner pocket.
Is he going to try and split the 6? No. Just looking for coverage. He was just looking to cover that 14 ball up the rail of Steve Denton's.
Which I don't think he's done.
Uh,
Steve might be able to roll this 11 into the side pocket and put the 14 back down inside of the 3.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe you're right there, Pat. I'll tell you what. Steve Denton was showing some nerves in that last frame. I assure you he'll be over that now. Some uncharacteristic mistakes from both players.
You might have heard us talk talking a bit earlier about how Steve Denton likes to play nice and open, go for his clearances. That's an example of a really nice tactical shot from Steve. Steve Wild opting to bring that ball out straight away. He didn't want it blocked. Hasn't come out perfect. He's put it on the rail and promoted Steve Denton's 13 over the pocket.
Well, Steve Denton in control of this frame now. Big 10 to the middle. Has he come too far for the 12? He has. But here we chip the 13 in.
What's he going to do with that 9, Brett?
Well, where Steve Wild's balls are, to be honest, he can probably... Well, he's opting to play the 12, but he could just pot the 13, pot the 12, pot the 15 and just bring the 9 straight out.
Might even be able to use that 15 to bring the 9 out.
Don't think you.
Nothing silly here?
He's got a great worker with a 14 over the hole. He's up 4-2. He doesn't need to be the aggressor here. He just needs to keep a cool head, and he will win this New Zealand title.
Yeah, look, that's his nature though. He'll want to finish this off.
Steve Denton on the 12, plays it in now. Is he on the shot that Pat spoke about? 15 to the side to try and free the 9.
A draw here. Want to cut this into the side pocket, or is he going long? No, he is. He's going to try and split this 9 here, folks.
Big shot. He's got it. He's got it.
Wow, what a great shot. What a great shot.
Nice clear from Steve Denton. Cracking shot. And he's just 3 pots away from the Clubs New Zealand 2016 8-ball singles title. He's played that all the way down for a long 9. Several players would have opted for the 9 to the middle. Steve.
Look, that's what I was looking at.
It's
no
okay.
problems for this player though.
9 to the corner for the 8 to the same pocket. It's there. It's there.
This is it, folks.
Wait for the roar.
We'll let the crowd tell you.
It's there. Steve Denton is your 2016 Clubs New Zealand 8-ball singles champion. Great final. Steve Wild, you did yourself proud, mate. Don't be disappointed with that. Steve Denton, great effort. First New Zealand title. I doubt it'll be his last. We need to get away from here, go and catch up with the players, congratulate the winners, have another couple of beers and get ready for the boxing tonight. I'm Brett DeFaria. I've been joined here by Patrick O'Donnell. Thank you very much to Excellence Billiards. Thank you very much to the Manurewa Cosmopolitan, Rod Buck and your team. Wonderful. And final words from you, Paddy.
Thanks, Brett. Enjoyed calling that with you, and congratulations to Steve Denton, 2016 National 8-Ball Clubs New Zealand champion.
Yeah, great match. Final congratulations to all the players. Thanks for those of you at home who watched. And one final thank you to Excellence Billiards again. We'll see you again next time. Thank you very much.